Hello everyone, welcome back. In our previous session, we discussed about the key differences between a regular table and a global temporary table. However, in this session, let's talk about those types of tables practically. That means we create a regular table and then we create a global temporary table to understand much better. So first I am going to start creating a regular table which can store data permanently, and then I will create a global temporary table which will auto delete the data from a table after committing or rollbacking the session, and then we will create a global temporary table again that can auto delete the data from the table after closing the current session or connection. So let's get started. So first I am going to create a regular table. So to do that, create table, table name. I am gonna give regular tab. So the first column is going to be employee number, which is number data type. Employee name, which is varchar2 of 40. Then salary, which is a number data type. Then I want to include the EBT number as well, which is also a number. Yeah. With these four columns, I want to create a regular table and also the remaining two tables as well. So first, let me create this normal table. Yeah, you can see EMP REG tab is created successfully. And let me create a global temporary table now. So the syntax is a little bit different here for global temporary table, that is create global temporary table. Yeah, it should start with create global temporary table syntax and then table name and then the columns that you want to include inside of this table. And at the end of columns, so currently we are executing the second scenario, which will delete data from this table automatically after you do commit or rollback. So to make that possible, we have to add a line of syntax, which is on commit delete rows. So if you add this syntax at the end of the table, that means the table automatically deletes the data after committing or rollbacking the session. It could be from a procedure or it could be from a function, anywhere. If you are doing it, it just wraps up all the data. You no need to perform delete or truncate to delete the data from a global temporary table. That's a main reason people use GTT on reports and intermediate calculations. So let me create it. Okay, name. Okay, let me change the name here. GTT oncoming tab. Yeah, let me erase this. Okay, we are able to create GTT successfully, and then let's create another table which will delete data right after committing the session, right after right after closing the session, not commit or rollback, but closing the session. So syntax would be same, but at the end of the table you have to change this line of code. So instead of on commit delete rows, you have to do on commit preserve rows. So preserving means the data stays until you close this SQL developer or this session. So even though you are committing or rollbacking the session using a procedure or a package so the data stays. So, and then let me change the table name as well. On preserve, I put, okay, let me create it. Okay, we have successfully created three different tables. Now let's insert some data into all these three tables and try to understand what differentiates you know a regular and a GTT. So to insert the data, we have to use insert command. Insert into table name values. So employee number 234, Scott, salary, and then department. Okay. So this is just a sample data. We are not going to use this data for discussing about any SQL query. So even though it's just a 4 columns, we can insert the same data, multiple times to just have some, data in a table. So let me commit it. So whenever you are inserting the data into a normal table or a regular table, committing the session is mandatory to make sure the data stays permanent, right? So until you perform delete or truncate, the data remains, stay in this table. That's a main thing on regular tables. Now I am going to insert the same data. First, let me query this table and see data is there or not. Yeah, we can see 4 rows of data. And let me insert the same data into my second table. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have inserted 5 rows. Now I am just selecting the data, from this table. Yeah, I can see the data even in my second table also. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform commit here. So you can use this icon in SQL Developer to commit the session, or you can simply write and compile it, right? So based on the syntax we used while creating this second table, we wanted to make sure that the data gets deleted right after committing or deleting the session. So after committing the session, the data gets deleted from this table. So let's see whether it gets deleted or not. So let me query one more time. Now commit it. And if you see the data now, data has deleted. So that is how this global temporary table works. Now what we will do, we will insert the same data into our third table, and then we do the same, like we do commit, and then we'll see whether data stays or not. So let me insert the data. Yes, I have inserted, and let me query the data now. Yeah, I could see the data even in third table also now. So now the syntax we used for third table is different. So it is not on commit delete rows, it is on commit preserve rows. That means until you close the session, right, this entire session, that data stays. So to check that, what I am gonna do, I am gonna commit the session now. So let me commit it. Commit is completed, and I am going to query this table. So as you see, the data is still there. It's not deleted automatically, because the syntax this syntax is for deleting after closing the session. So what I will do, I will copy the select statement and I will close the session close the SQL developer and I'll reopen it, and then I will query the same table. So at that time, the data should have been deleted, from this table. So let me, first of all, let me copy this entire data. Okay. Okay, let me open one more time the SQL developer. Yeah. So I am going to query the third table now. So as per our expectation, the data should have deleted from this table. Yeah, as you can see, right, the data got deleted automatically. So that's the main difference between these two syntaxes. But if you check the data from the main table, which is a regular table, the data stays. So the data doesn't get deleted, even though you are committing or rollbacking the session or you are closing the entire session, doesn't matter. So that's the key differences between a regular and a GTT. I hope you have a clear idea now between a GTT and a regular table. And if you still have any questions or confusions, you can email me or put your comment on below of this video. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in our next session. Thank you.